Floor.
Well, thank you to my colleague from Connecticut. I'm here, like everyone else on the floor, in the wake of horrific mass shootings from Sandy Hook to Orlando, because Americans have come together united as a family to grieve for the dead and to comfort those left behind. But we haven't come together to do anything to stop the next shooting, to prevent the next series of funerals, to prevent future devastation. So that's why I want to thank Senators Murphy and Blumenthal, the senators from New Jersey and from Connecticut, and Senator Booker from New Jersey, for leading us here today to demand action. And let's be clear, tears are not enough. Expressions of outrage are not enough. After Columbine and Virginia Tech and Aurora and Charleston and San Bernardino, and so many shootings that have happened with numbing regularity, moments of silence and expressions of sympathy are just not enough. This Senate, this Congress, needs to pass common sense gun safety legislation supported by 9 out of 10 Americans. It is inconceivable that Congress would fail to act in the wake of the Orlando tragedy. To do nothing would be an affront to all those Americans who have lost loved ones to senseless gun violence. The distinguished senators from Connecticut, the distinguished senator from New Jersey, have been outspoken advocates of common sense gun safety legislation. Senators Murphy and Blumenthal have wept with the families of the 20 school children massacred at Sandy Hook Elementary. And in the subsequent 3.5 years, working with the Sandy Hook families, they have advocated for legislation to address the menace of widely available automatic assault weapons, weapons that have only one purpose, and that purpose is to kill large numbers of people. So now we're here today to demand action on common sense measures to address gun violence. The first would be to deny guns to people on the FBI's no-fly list. Those people on the no-fly list, because of suspected ties to extremist organizations or ideologies, should not be allowed to fly, and they should not be allowed to buy a gun. It doesn't get more common sense than this. If a person is considered too dangerous to board an airplane, then that person is too dangerous to purchase a military-style assault weapon. Second, to ensure universal background checks for gun buyers, to keep dangerous weapons out of the hands of dangerous people. At least 9 out of 10 Americans support these measures. It's a no-brainer. Well, enough is enough. It is time for us to say enough is enough. We get a second chance to vote on this legislation. And this time, we must come together on a bipartisan basis to pass common sense gun safety legislation to end the violence. Now, as we contemplate this legislation, let's remember the photographs. We've all seen them on television, in the newspapers, photographs of so many wonderful young people killed by gun violence, now from Orlando. The Orlando shooting was both a crime of terror and a crime of hate. And now it's time for us to honor those who died, to honor our friends who are hurting in the LGBT community, to honor our friends in the Latino community, to honor all those Americans who we've lost to senseless gun violence. And to my friend from Connecticut, I would ask, isn't the best way to honor all those people we've lost to gun violence to act now to prevent future tragedies?